competition.
All right, here we go.
Knock, knock.
Hello.
Hey man, it's Ladd Gasparric. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
It's 11:30. We had an 11:30 appointment. May I come in?
Yep, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me today. So Amanda, you ready to get your property on the market and get it sold today or what?
As long as you answer a couple questions the right way, I think we're ready.
Cool. Can I come in?
Yeah.
So what are the questions?
Well, we're going to talk about price, of course. We're going to talk about the strategies to get this home sold and how you might be different from the other realtors that you work with.
Awesome. So if we can talk about price, strategies, and also in terms of strategies, you know, how we're different.
Mm-hmm.
You be ready to go ahead and get the house on the market and get it sold?
Yeah.
Awesome. Here's what I'd love to do, Amanda. I emailed you this and I texted you this. This is our pre-listing agreement, our pre-listing presentation. Have you had a chance to review this?
I flipped through it.
Okay. So here, I just want to give you this, and what I'd love to do is give you this, and also give you. This is a list that says 10 things I love about my house, and I'd love for you to fill this out and kind of take a look through this. And I would pay special attention to the homes that we sold on pages 13 and 14. And then there are some other things about our process. What I'd love to do is, while you do that, I'd love to take a look around the house. I'm just going to run through fairly quickly. I like to take a look at the house through the eyes of a buyer.
Okay.
Because that's really what we're doing, right? We want to position the house in terms of in the eyes of the buyer.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, so I'm going to fill out the top 10 things that I love about the house. All right.
Yep.
And I'll wait for you in the kitchen.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, cool. All right. Any questions about anything on there that you read?
No, it looks good. I think, I would like to understand, as I see it, is you're selling the home 60 days roughly faster than the market. So that's interesting to know. What are you guys doing? How are you doing that? And then I want to hear about what advice you have for our home.
Cool. We're definitely going to talk about that. So let me just go big picture. So we have three main goals today. Number one, I want to review your motivation to get the property sold.
Okay.
And also to agree on a price.
Okay.
Number two, I want to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay.
Number three, we want you to decide today if you want me to sell the house for you, and then I'll also decide that if for the right match that we think we could work together well.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sounds fair.
Awesome. So jumping into that, so three questions. Number one is, do you really want to sell the house?
We do.
Tell me about that.
As I said over the phone, we're moving to Wilmington. I've got a job waiting there. It would be the equity in the home allows us to be able to buy a house in Wilmington, and so it's critical that we get this moving.
Okay. And when I drill back on dates, you said October 1st was your date.
Mm-hmm.
And so for you to be there, and you mentioned that I think Bobby was not going to come down right away.
Right.
So given that it's probably going to take us about 45 days to get your property sold, looks like, unless I misunderstood you, looks like we need to get your property under contract within the next 30 days or so.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right to you?
Yep.
Okay. And tell me
Worst
more
case
about...
scenario, we're going to have to rent, but I would love to go out with the confidence that we're under contract.
Okay. And why didn't you want to rent?
I prefer to be purchase, not to have to make two big moves in a short period of time. I'd like to just make one solid move if I can.
Yeah, that can be kind of stressful. So so what I'm hearing you say is you want to go ahead and get it sold quickly, so that way you don't have to do two moves. Okay, cool. So what else about Wilmington? You mentioned on the phone that you had a friend that was down there and you had an opportunity. It was a cool place.
Yeah, my son's a baseball player, so it's kind of the backyard of Baseball America here, so he gets more opportunity to extend his playing time down there. We love the beach. We're outdoors people and just create some new experiences.
Okay, so it sounds like you really want to sell your house. Second question I want to ask you is, are you willing to price the property at a price that will cause it to sell?
As long as you work to get me the most amount of money possible, yes.
Sure, and I want to make sure, the reason I asked that question is because we talk about motivation. I've always found that people that are that high level motivation that we can deliver for them and get their property sold, I want to make sure we don't confuse. I mean, we're a fiduciary for you, and I want to get you every dollar that we can get for you. What I do want to make sure is that we're very upfront. You'll see a lot of agents that what we call buy listings, and they'll take a listing at any price, and that's unethical. It would be unethical for me to do that, and I want to make sure that we list it at a market rate. where the market's going to receive it. You're going to get showings and you're going to sell.
Okay.
Especially in this case when you said that we really need to be under contract within about 30 days.
Right. Makes
sense.
sense.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it sounds like we're okay there. So here's the final question for this is, do you want me to sell the house for you?
Yeah, I think there's a few things that, I would want your commitment that you're going to do upon getting into agreement with you. But right now, we're not setting up a second interview at this time.
Okay. So, well, let's do this. I have the paperwork right here. Any questions? Should we go ahead and sign the paperwork?
No, I mean, I'd like to know what were those three things that I isolated for you. Where will you land us on price? What are your strategies for the team to get it sold? And what was my third one?
How we're different?
Yeah, how you're different.
Okay, cool. So I wrote those down. So we'll talk about price. We'll talk about strategy, and within the strategy, how we do things differently. So when we talk about those, if you feel comfortable based on those that we can deliver for you, would there be anything else that would prevent you from going ahead and getting this
I don't think
signed
so.
up?
No.
So we could go ahead and go to work for you. Okay, cool. So in terms of strategy, I don't know if you've had too much of a chance to read this. Would you like most people would rather have like the short version and ask any questions. Our marketing is very extensive, so that's kind of why we created this, so people could look at it. So this is an example of the quality of marketing that we do in-house. We actually produced and printed this piece. So we have our evidence of success in here. You mentioned 61 days. We sell houses about 2 months faster. So in your case, 2 months faster than the average market. In your case, it's going to save you 2 mortgage payments. It's going to get you to Wilmington faster. I think the biggest thing that I can tell you, Amanda, is I'm not sure how familiar you are with our industry. Our industry it hasn't been the most quickly evolving industry where you have a lot of agents that are still attempting to run out just a solo agent, and most of them don't have any help. Mm-hmm. Occasionally they'll have an office, someone that works in their office, or they share, but what we do, and as you've seen, is we run a real business. We run a real operation, and the reason that we do that is because we're able to sell more houses, generate more leads, and give you a great experience. Okay. And so with that experience, I know in the past, communication from other realtors when I bought and sold before has been, on the scale of 1 to 10, probably a 5. How often am I going to hear from you guys? So that's a great question. I'm glad you asked. One of the things I mentioned in our book, if you go to page 14, these are all the houses that we actually have listed and sold. These are just some of them that were listed with other agents that didn't sell, and we came in. So since we specialize in selling houses that didn't sell the first time, we get to hear a lot of complaints from people. The number one complaint is communication. Mm-hmm. And what we really realized is that the number one thing people really want is they just want us to call them. Yeah. And so what we do is we have a communication system in place, so that you'll hear from us minimum of once a week. Okay. And that's a combination of hearing from me and also hearing from Kelly. Okay. And who's Kelly? So Kelly, back to how we do things differently. Kelly is she's amazing. She is she's a licensed agent. She ran an appraisal company, so and she does all of our listings and marketing and closing coordination. So the cool thing about this is, I'm assuming you want me out, generating business and trying to sell your property, right? Right. Kelly is in the office 40 hours a week, so she's answering the phone, just handling all the administrative tasks and the marketing and directing traffic. So I can be out doing what I do, just generating more opportunities and finding buyers and sellers. Great. To create more leads to hopefully sell your house. So for strategies from a marketing standpoint, I'm assuming we're going to be on social media. What does that look like? So in terms of strategies specific to marketing, I would say that we do. We talk about some of it in here. We do all of the marketing that any agent would do. Putting it in MLS is just a start. From there, it goes out to a bunch of different websites. The things that we do that are really different are we really understand social media marketing. So we're not just going to share your listing on Facebook. We are going to do that, and we're going to ask you to share it so that your friends see it. But then we're going to do targeting advertising on Facebook, where we can actually force your property in the feeds of people all over the place. And we can target them by demographic, by age, sex, where they live, interest, hobbies, different things like that. And what's this inside sales department? So the last piece that I was gonna say that really differentiates us is that we are, most sellers we found, they want an agent that is aggressive, that's assertive. And so we run our business, we have an inside sales department because our agents are out, and if a lead calls and I'm not available and they go to my voicemail, we may lose them. So we have an inside sales department where we have someone that basically, they don't show property and they don't do administrative work. Their entire job is to generate business and to convert leads. So we answer, our goal is to answer 100% of all incoming lead calls. Internet registrations, we contact them within 2 to 5 minutes when they register, and that's just kind of what people expect.
Okay.
I will say it's very unique in this market. There are some top teams that do it across the country in some circles that we're involved with. I'm not really aware of anyone who has done this at a super high level locally. We've had an inside sales department for about the last 6 or 7 years.
Nice. Okay. Great.
Because we do that, we generate more leads. We sell about 1 out of every 3 listings. We sell ourselves, and that's because we're able to generate as many leads as we do from our inside sales department. So if you ask around, that's going to be one of the major differences, because I doubt that anyone else that you're going to be speaking with would be able to do that.
Great.
Service as well.
Okay.
So we talked about marketing strategies. We talked about communication. Anything else specific around those 2 items, or can I check those off?
Nope, I think that sounds good. Obviously, price is going to be important for us. I know that I'm going to trust that you're going to get it listed at a number that we can get moved quickly. Will there be some sort of a explanation around what our bottom line is going to be after fees and those things too?
Sure.
Okay. And when do we get that? When do we see that?
So price typically comes at the end. Is there anything else other than price now that we've talked about strategy and communication?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. So when we talked, you mentioned that you thought the property was around worth what you paid for it. We did the comps, and it looks like, here's some comps that I can give you. I think you were pretty spot on. I think that you had a pretty good gut feeling. Right now in this market, inventory is a little tight, and we're able to push the market a little bit. We don't want to push it too much, especially given your time frame. So I think somewhere in the range of 215 to 220.
Okay.
And we can talk about a price, and we can write something in the blank. And what we'll do is it's going to take us probably 7 to 10 days to do all of our marketing and get everything. So we can talk again before it goes live just to reconfirm that price.
Okay.
Is that a range that you're comfortable in?
Yeah, I think that sounds good. What are we going to be doing between now and the time we go on the market?
So the first thing we need to do so that we can go to work for you is we need to go ahead and sign the paperwork. So I went ahead and brought paperwork with me. We have your information in there. And we can kind of go ahead and go through this. This is a standard form North Carolina exclusive listing agreement, and I'll go through what this means, but essentially this is the document that's required for us to put our team to work for you.
Okay.
All right, so we're going through the paperwork. Amanda, I want to ask you a question. Our team is built on relationships, reputation, and referrals, and your experience through this is very important to us. And what I want to ask you is, what would a 5-star experience look like to you?
I mentioned the communication. That's the biggest thing for me. The marketing. I'm trusting that you're going to take some really good pictures, get us online, and get us out to all the outlets so that we can be seen quickly.
All right. So communication, marketing. What else?
Get it sold.
Get it sold. Awesome. So if we communicated well at a high level, did the marketing, and really pushed that out and got it sold, that would be a 5-star experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we want to take it a notch above that. We don't just want to get the results, and we really want to give you that really high level experience. So what would it look like to plus that?
Oh boy, to plus it, I think just getting the feedback from the showings that we're getting on the house, so that and hearing from you if we need to make some changes or alterations on the property.
Okay, so let me drill down on feedback. We have a lot of our clients choose to just get all the feedback in our weekly conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you're comfortable with, or would you like feedback more often?
With the level of urgency that we have in order to move, I would prefer to have feedback after every showing.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a note in here for Kelly that we're going to set up our feedback system so that it's going to automatically notify you as soon as the agent submits. So here's what I can tell you, Amanda. You will get the feedback as soon as we get it back from the other agents. What I can't guarantee you is that there are a lot of agents out there that just don't give us the courtesy of giving us feedback. We have a system in place where we ask immediately Then we ask again later that day. Then we continue to ask over the next, 3 to 4 or 5 days, and then we'll also call them.
Okay,
We just sometimes unfortunately can't get them to respond.
okay,
So you'll get feedback immediately, and you'll get that through email.
okay,
And just know that if you don't get feedback, we don't yet have it, and we're looking for it.
okay.
Does that make sense? So what else would it take? What's a 5-star plus plus? Just to give you the most incredible
I know
experience
that
you've had.
getting it sold is the most important thing, but I also know from selling homes before that there's a whole process that comes after that. So what does it look like once we're under contract to close? Because I really can't afford to have that deal unravel. So, what are my expectations or support that I'm going to get from you with that?
Awesome. So if we gave you a really airtight contract to close, if Kelly did that for you at a high level of communication and really kept the deal from unraveling, that would be.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
feel good about that.
Okay, awesome. So what I love is now that we have clarity on what that looks for you, now I can, when we go back and meet with Kelly, I can give her clarity on what that looks like for you. So 2 things on that. One is we do run our business based on referral. And so what I would ask is that when we execute on this and we deliver, there's 2 things that I would ask at the end. When we're able to give you that communication, do the marketing, get it sold, give you the feedback, and give you that really smooth contract to close experience. When we deliver on that, what I would ask is that you would give us the name of a friend, family, or someone that you know that would need to buy, sell, or invest in real estate.
Okay.
Is that
sure.
fair?
Yeah.
Second thing we would ask would be that you would give us a 5-star review. The way that things, all the reviews are online now, and it's really important for us to have that.
Okay.
And they won't allow us to put them on. We actually have you have to sort of be our partner in the process. We can make it easy for you. We can send you a link.
Okay.
But if we deliver on that, would you give us?
I'd be happy
give
to.
them a 5-star
Yep.
review? So here's the last thing I'll ask you: if we don't deliver on that, and you're not comfortable giving us a referral based on the situation or a 5-star review, that's totally okay. The only thing I'm going to ask is that you let me know, because if you don't let me know, then we can't get better.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So Kelly is my right hand. She's amazing. Like I mentioned, she's in the office all the time. When I go back, I'm going to sit down with Kelly. I'm going to download all this information to her. If she needs to dot any I's or cross any T's with the paperwork, she'll reach out. But she's gonna call, reach out, and make contact with you, because she's in the office and she's easier to get a hold of. Any questions on the administrative side or the marketing, she's going to take over the communication so that I can go over and generate leads and try to get the property sold.
So am I going to hear from you at all again?
Yeah, you'll hear from me throughout the process.
Okay.
And the best way to get in touch with me, if it's anything urgent, just please don't email me. I check my email once or twice a day. Sometimes
Okay.
it's super late at night. So if you need me urgently, call me. And if I can't answer, then just text me.
Okay.
And I would say Kelly is almost always available 8 to 5.
Great.
We found that there aren't really any not too many emergencies in real estate, and sort of as a promise to my family, I do shut it down about 6 or 7 o'clock if I don't have appointments at night. So if it's anything super, I will always be able to get to you in the morning.
Okay. That sounds good.
Sounds good?
Yeah. Let's
Awesome.
do it.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Good deal.